Stop moving the cup. Let me tell you what I mean by this. Before I do, I want to tell you about my friends over at No OCD. No OCD provides therapy online for people struggling with OCD. Members do live video sessions with therapists who actually specialize in it. They use exposure and response prevention, which is the gold standard treatment. You can get started today by downloading the No OCD app for free. So when I say stop moving the cup, this is what I mean. A few years back, I was at my brother's house. We were seated around the dinner table, talking and laughing. Their dinner table is located right next to white carpet. My 3-year-old periodically would run up to the table, grab her juice cup, grape juice of all things, take a drink, and slam it back to the table. What I noticed is that when she placed her cup back on the table, it would be so close to the edge. I would continually move this cup back to the middle of the table. Just as I was done, she would run right back to that cup, follow the same routine, slam it back to the table. On the edge again. I found myself moving this cup over and over and over again. I didn't want it to fall. I didn't want it to hit the white carpet. I felt like I could prevent this. Little did I know, the more time I spent moving this cup, the more ingrained I got into these perceived threats that this cup was going to fall. So ingrained that I missed out on the conversations happening right in front of me. By the end of the night, I probably moved that cup 20 times, if not more. Moving, moving, moving. And guess what ended up happening? Nothing. Nothing happened. Her cup did not fall. The catastrophe was averted. And my brain said, "Good job, Nate. You did a really good job at preventing that threat from happening. You moved that cup, way to go." My brain doesn't know any different. It thinks I did a good job. It celebrates me. But what if me moving that cup had nothing to do with the catastrophe not happening? It seems like such a silly thing, but it got me thinking. How many times in our life do we have a perceived threat, something we're completely guessing, and we are doing behaviors to prevent it? Even if the catastrophe actually did happen, we would be able to problem solve it. Think about this for yourself. How many times a day, a week, an hour, a minute are you trying to prevent something bad from happening? Something, like I said, you are completely guessing. How much of your life do you feel like you are missing because of this? Life is meant to be lived. We are meant to make mistakes. We are meant to fail. We are meant to let the chips fall where they may. We do not need to problem solve everything. If there's not an actual problem presented right in front of us, we don't need to do it. The cup on the edge of the table is not a problem. It could potentially be a problem, but at this moment, it is not a problem. When we focus more on living life and enjoying the things around us, it is worth more to take the risk that the perceived threat might actually happen than to continually try to problem solve it and prevent it from happening. When it comes to anxiety and OCD symptoms, the perceived threat happens day after day after day after day. The brain thinks that the only reason it hasn't happened yet is because you may have done a compulsion or you followed its rules. When we are doing treatment, we have to retrain our brain to say that it is completely lying to you. When we don't do the compulsion, and in my case, moving the cup, we allow ourselves to see what ends up happening. When we find out that the catastrophe didn't actually happen, the brain learns from this. It says that threat that you gave me must have been false, thus reducing the amount of threats it's going to give you in the future. Because when you do not react to it and nothing happens, the brain learns, I need to stop threatening you with these things because I've been wrong so many times. But what if the catastrophe actually does happen? Can we problem solve it? Yeah, we can. The cup falls on the carpet, grape juice. I clean it up. Maybe it doesn't come out all the way. Maybe my brother's mad at me. I don't know. But guess what? I was able to enjoy and live life in the moment. So when I say stop moving the cup, what I really mean is stop doing the compulsion. Stop trying to prevent those bad things from happening unless you see immediate danger, meaning there is no doubt in your mind that you are in danger. You don't even have to question it. If you do have to question it and you already know you've had a perceived threat, we're leaving it as a perceived threat. We're not going to do anything with it. And I know what you're thinking. Yeah, Nate, your example of grape juice falling on the white carpet, that's simple. Mine is so much more serious than that. Do not fall for this trap that your perceived threat is more important than someone else's. Perceived is perceived. It's a guess. It doesn't matter what intrusive thought comes your way, we treat it the exact same. Stop moving the cup. Risk the threat. It's worth living life. My question for you is, what is going to be that thing that you stop doing today? What is going to be your cup that you stop moving? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Oh man, why am I yelling so much? It says that trait you gave me